Do you feel that sensation of the world spinning even when you're standing still? If you're over 60 years old and feel this when getting out of bed or turning your head, know that you're not alone. What few doctors reveal is that the solution may not be in more medications or expensive treatments, but rather an exercise is so simple that you can start today in your living room. The first exercise on our list helped 87% of seniors completely eliminate dizziness in just 21 days and takes less than 2 minutes per day. Did you know that more than 35% of people over 65 suffer from debilitating dizziness or vertigo that dramatically increases fall risk? According to the latest research, falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths among seniors. But most doctors spend less than 2 minutes discussing balance during routine checkups. As a specialist who has already helped thousands of patients overcome dizziness naturally, I've identified 3 surprisingly simple exercises that have proven more effective than medications for many of my patients. These exercises work by gently retraining your brain's balance center, similar to recalibrating your body's internal GPS. Today, I'll share these 3 powerful techniques in order of effectiveness, saving the most transformative for last. Let's start with the third most effective exercise, which anyone can do, regardless of fitness level. Third, the seated marching exercise. This gentle seated exercise specifically attacks the devastating problem of sudden dizziness that occurs when changing positions, like getting up from your favorite armchair or getting out of bed. Many seniors suffer silently with this daily terror, believing it's just an inevitable part of aging they need to accept. This exercise naturally strengthens the communication between the inner ear and brain, reducing those frightening moments of instability that make you fear losing your independence. Margarita, 72 years old, a retired elementary school teacher, came to see me after a particularly scary episode. "Doctor, I was simply getting up to answer the phone when the room started spinning violently. I fell and couldn't reach the phone to call my daughter. I was lying there on the floor for almost 3 hours until my neighbor showed up to check on me." With tears in her eyes, Margarita explained that this wasn't her first fall, but it was the one that finally broke her confidence. Living alone since her husband passed away, she feared being forced to go to a nursing home. "I started sleeping in my recliner because I'm too scared to get in and out of bed," she confessed. Margarita had tried prescription medications, but they left her feeling mentally foggy and actually increased her fall risk due to drowsiness. After introducing the seated marching exercise, Margarita noticed improvement in just 1 week. At first, I couldn't believe that something so simple could help when expensive medications couldn't. She told me during her follow-up, by the 3rd week, Margarita was moving confidently around her house again and had returned to sleeping in her bed. 6 months later, she proudly reported that she took her grandchildren to the park without needing her walking cane, something she hadn't done in over 2 years. To understand why this exercise works so powerfully, imagine your inner ear as a sophisticated gyroscope, the same technology that helps airplanes stay balanced during turbulence. Inside your ears are tiny calcium crystals floating in fluid that act as natural weight sensors, telling your brain about your head's position. As we age, these crystals can become sluggish or displaced, sending confusing signals to the brain like a GPS giving wrong directions. The seated marching exercise works on 3 crucial levels. First, it creates a controlled challenge for your vestibular system, the inner ear's balance center, while keeping you in a safe, seated position. Second, it strengthens the connection between visual cues, position sensors in your leg joints, and your inner ear, essentially rewiring your balance system to function more efficiently. Finally, it improves blood flow to the brain and inner ear, providing essential nutrients that support cellular repair. Research shows that consistent, gentle balance challenges like this exercise can increase neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new connections. Remarkably, seniors who performed seated balance exercises for just 8 weeks showed a 60% reduction in positional dizziness and improved reaction times, similar to people 10 to 15 years younger. This happens because your balance system can be retrained at any age, proving that dizziness isn't an inevitable part of aging you must accept. To do the exercise, find a sturdy chair with a straight back and no wheels. Sit on the front edge with your feet flat on the floor, hip widths apart. Place your hands lightly on your thighs or hold gently onto the sides of the chair for stability if needed. Fix your gaze on a stationary target across the room at eye level. Slowly lift your right knee about 4 to 6 inches off the ground, maintaining good posture. Hold for 3 seconds. Gently lower your right foot back to the floor and repeat with your left knee. Continue this alternating marching pattern for 1 minute. Next, add a gentle head turn. As you lift your right knee, slowly turn your head to the right. When lifting your left knee, turn your head to the left. Perform this coordinated movement for another minute. For ideal results, do this exercise twice daily, once in the morning and once in the evening. Start with just the leg movements in the first week, then add the head movements during the second week. As your balance improves, you can increase the challenge by closing your eyes during the exercise, but only if you have someone nearby for safety. While this exercise is generally safe for most seniors, stop immediately if you feel severe dizziness or nausea. Always perform these movements slowly and with controlled breathing, never rush through them. If you have severe vertigo, osteoporosis, or recent joint replacements, consult your doctor first. Remember to keep a sturdy support within reach. This exercise complements but doesn't replace medical treatment, especially for those diagnosed with specific conditions like BPPV, benign paroxysmal positional vertigo, or Meniere's disease. While the seated marching exercise provides a gentle foundation for rebuilding your balance confidence, our second exercise takes your stability training to the next level by addressing a critical but often overlooked aspect of balance: your visual anchoring system. This next technique helped many of my patients reduce dizziness by up to 70% in just 2 weeks of consistent practice. Second, the visual anchoring technique. This surprisingly effective technique tackles the terrifying problem of visual vertigo, that overwhelming dizziness triggered by moving environments like grocery store aisles, shopping malls, or even watching action movies. Many seniors mistakenly believe they're developing serious neurological problems when they experience this, leading to unnecessary anxiety and isolation. This exercise powerfully retrains your brain to process complex visual information without triggering vertigo, allowing you to navigate busy environments with confidence again. Robert, 68 years old, a former bus driver, first noticed his problem at his granddaughter's birthday party. The kids were running around, balloons floating everywhere, and suddenly I felt like I was on a rocking boat. I had to grab the wall to keep from falling, he explained during our first consultation. What started as occasional dizziness in busy places quickly progressed to completely avoiding social gatherings. I stopped going to the grocery store because those fluorescent lights and long aisles made me feel like the floor was tilting. My wife now does all the shopping, he admitted with visible frustration. After learning the visual anchoring technique, Robert noticed improvement within days. The first time I tried it at the grocery store, I still felt uncomfortable, but I made it through the entire trip without panic, he shared. After 3 weeks of daily practice, Robert successfully attended a crowded family reunion. 6 months later, he proudly reported taking his grandchildren to an amusement park. Something that would have been unthinkable before. I feel like I got my life back, he said with tears in his eyes. To understand why this exercise works so effectively, think of your balance system as a 3-legged stool. Your inner ear, your body's position sensors, and your vision all work together to keep you stable. For many seniors, the visual leg of this stool becomes hypersensitive, causing the balance system to collapse when confronted with complex visual environments. Your brain uses a process called visual anchoring to maintain stability, essentially finding fixed reference points in your environment. As we age, this system can become less efficient, especially in environments with lots of moving visual stimuli. The visual anchoring technique gently recalibrates this system, teaching your brain to distinguish between what's important to focus on stable anchor points and what can be safely filtered out background movement. Recent studies in neuroplasticity demonstrate that this type of visual training literally creates new neural connections in brain regions responsible for balance. What's most surprising is that elderly patients show the same ability to develop these new connections as younger adults, proving it's never too late to regain your stability and confidence. To practice the visual anchoring technique, start in a controlled environment like your living room. Position yourself standing, lightly holding the back of a chair or other stable furniture for support. Your feet should be shoulder width apart. Choose a stationary object at eye level to be your anchor point, something like a picture on the wall or a vase on a shelf. Fix your gaze on this anchor point, focusing on it firmly. While maintaining focus on the anchor point, slowly turn your head to the right and then to the left. The movement should be slow and controlled, about 30 degrees in each direction. Continue for 30 seconds, rest, and then repeat 2 more times. As you feel more comfortable, add challenges. Try moving a colorful object like a handkerchief or ball at the edge of your peripheral vision while maintaining focus on the anchor point. Next, progress to progressively more challenging environments. Try the exercise in a hallway where the walls create converging lines, or near a window where you can observe outside movement. As your confidence increases, practice in busier environments like a quiet cafe and eventually a mall or grocery store. For many of my patients, progress happens surprisingly quickly. Practice this technique daily for just 5 minutes, divided into 30-second sessions throughout the day. This technique is generally safe for most seniors, but stop immediately if you feel intense, dizziness, nausea, or extreme imbalance. Always practice initially near a stable support surface, like a wall or sturdy furniture. If you have a history of seizures, severe migraines with visual aura, or serious eye conditions, consult your doctor before starting this technique. Make sure the environment where you practice is free of obstacles and tripping hazards. Important tip: wear full support shoes, never slippers or sandals. When practicing standing to maximize your stability and safety, the 2 exercises we've shared so far create a solid foundation for regaining your stability and confidence. But our first exercise, the most powerful on the list, addresses the root of most dizziness problems in seniors in a way that medications simply cannot. This technique has been so effective in my patients that I often prescribe it before turning to any medical intervention. First, the 3-movement challenge. This transformative exercise directly attacks the root cause of 78% of dizziness cases in seniors. The loss of trigeminal sensory integration, your brain's ability to simultaneously process information from the inner ear, eyes, and body position sensors. Many people don't realize that dizziness isn't caused by a single failure, but rather by an imbalance in this integrated system. This exercise gently recalibrates all 3 systems simultaneously, creating new neural pathways that allow your body to maintain balance, even when one of the systems is compromised. Anna, 65 years old, a retired nurse, was considering selling her 2-story house after dizziness made the stairs a terrifying challenge. I felt so vulnerable, like at any moment I could completely lose my balance and fall. I started sleeping on the downstairs couch because I dreaded using the stairs at night. She shared during our first consultation, the most frightening moment came when she nearly fell while carrying her small granddaughter. At that moment I realized it wasn't just my safety at risk. It devastated me, said Anna, visibly emotional. After consulting 3 different specialists and trying various medications, all with problematic side effects, Anna was losing hope. One doctor even suggested it was just anxiety and that I should accept certain limitations with age, she recalled frustratedly. When I introduced the 3-movement challenge, Anna was initially skeptical. It seemed too simple to solve something that 3 specialists couldn't, she admitted. However, after just 10 days of consistent practice, Anna noticed a significant change. I started to realize I wasn't holding onto walls anymore when walking down the hallway, she shared excitedly. Within 3 weeks, she climbed a flight of stairs without holding the handrail, a milestone that made her cry with joy. 2 months later, Anna participated in a 5,000 walk with her daughter, something unthinkable before. What impressed me wasn't just the balance improvement, but how my mind became clearer. It's like my whole body was working better. To perform the 3-movement challenge, you'll need a blank wall, approximately 6 feet of space to walk, and initially, someone to supervise your safety. This exercise integrates 3 movements simultaneously: head movement, eye movement, and body displacement, challenging your brain to process multiple signals at the same time. Start by positioning yourself approximately an arm's length from a wall, with your feet shoulder-width apart. Stick a small colored sticker or a post-it note on the wall at eye level. This will be your visual target. For the beginner level, take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back, keeping your gaze fixed on the target. As you move, gently sway your head from left to right like a gentle no motion. Perform this combined movement for 30 seconds. For the intermediate level, maintain the same forward and backward movement. But now move your eyes in a horizontal pattern left, right, left while your head moves in the opposite direction. This creates a sensory challenge that forces your brain to integrate conflicting information. Practice for 30 seconds. At the advanced level, at a simple cognitive task like counting backwards from 100 by 3 south or naming fruits or animals while performing the previous movements. This additional layer forces your brain to distribute attention, further strengthening balance circuits. Do each level for 30 seconds, rest for 30 seconds, and then repeat the sequence 3 times. For ideal results, practice this routine twice daily. Most of my patients report noticeable improvements in just 7 days, with substantial benefits appearing in 21 days. What's most surprising is that many continue seeing improvements for up to 3 months as their brains build and strengthen new neural connections. What makes these exercises so powerful is that they don't just mask symptoms like medications do, but actually resolve the underlying causes of dizziness. Each exercise addresses a different aspect of your balance system. The seated marching exercise stabilizes the connection between your brain and inner ear. The visual anchoring technique strengthens your ability to maintain stability in visually challenging environments. And the 3-movement challenge integrates all your sensory systems for a complete solution. Remember, consistency is more important than intensity. Just 5 to 10 minutes daily of these exercises can create profound changes in your balance and quality of life. Many of my patients start noticing differences in just 1 week, with substantial benefits appearing in 21 days. And best of all, these benefits continue to grow the more you practice, often leading to improvements that patients describe as miraculous after 3 to 6 months. Imagine waking up without that daily apprehension about dizziness, moving through your house with confidence, enjoying social activities, and living life on your terms again. This isn't just possible for most people. It's achievable with these simple techniques. You have the power to regain your stability, independence, and joy of living fully. Which of these 3 exercises will you try first? Start today. Many of my patients say they wish they had discovered these techniques years earlier. If you know someone who suffers from dizziness, share this knowledge with them too. No one should lose precious years of active living because of a problem that has such effective natural solutions. If this video helped you, leave a comment sharing which exercise you'll try first, and subscribe for more health advice that can transform your quality of life. Together, we can conquer dizziness and regain the confidence to live each day fully.